we're actually going to head right in to our fantastic sponsor presentation, Be a Martian, Citizen Mapping of Mars. Now, how cool does this sound? So Michelle Viotti of NASA, she's the manager for the Mars Public Engagement Project. She'll be discussing this project with us. And the URL is a bit wieldy, but you can find it. It's beamartian.jpl.nasa.gov, or use your favorite search engine to find it, and I'll send it right here to the chat room. You can actually check out the project while Michelle is talking about it, or you might as well wait until she's done. So Michelle, take it away.
All right, thanks. Hi, everyone. I'm from NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab, first of all, and we do most of the Mars missions that are out there currently, and we have another one coming up very soon. And so we're doing a lot of things with the public to try and get everybody involved in science. We just launched the site with Microsoft using Azure and Dallas and a lot of other technologies. We originally got together because we really had a common bond for STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and math, for future workforce needs and just the general good of the country. And so we wanted to provide an opportunity for the public to really have more access to data and more access to using it. In terms of the cloud, JPL is really trying to find real applications and testing that, as our folks in the CIO's office like to say, keeping it real. And that often means spacecraft biz, but on the educational side, there are lots of opportunities as well. So what we did was we set up a site, and in the first 2 weeks, we had 35,000 people sign up to Be a Martian, to do citizen science activities with us. We're really excited about that number, but we're also looking for ways to keep everything going. We had about 200 stories in the media. Some of it was fun. I mean, it ranged from the big things from Discovery all the way to the Himalayan Times, and we really had a lot of worldwide interest in participating. So you sign up to become a Martian. And we have several different things that people can do. These are real, authentic science projects. The mission teams actually need a lot of help with the data sets. What you're looking at right now is the Martian map room. And we have so much data coming back from Mars that it's a lot of work to process it. There are grad students out there tirelessly laboring here and there to register the Mars data sets. Currently, we only have one full data set for Mars fully registered. And by that, I mean there's no GPS at Mars right now. And so even though the images are placed fairly accurately, they may need to be nudged into place. So the public is given a set of 3 images, and they can help place them appropriately and become explorers themselves. That data goes back to the science teams, and they'll validate that and get it into the system. All of the Mars data is available through the cloud and through the Dallas application that brings it forward. Currently, data at NASA is otherwise stored in an accessible, but if you'll forgive me for saying maybe a little clunky way, that it really takes somebody who really knows how to use it to access it. And so this is one of the things that we were trying to solve. We had 2.5 million API queries in the first 2 weeks. That means that people accessed the data and positioned the images. So we're really excited about the way that the public really took to it and is using it. We also have a crater counting activity that they can do as well, and you can position a little tool over the craters, mark their size and location, and submit that as well. And that's really going to help us understand the ages of the Martian surface in very small regions, which is also something that hasn't been done. And I think the key thing for public participation here is that it's really authentic, that they're getting to contribute. And that's something we're really trying to emphasize, that we don't want it to be a one-way conversation anymore. We really want people not just to communicate back with us, but also to find ways of participating in real ways. what we did, because of course we're a government site, we couldn't let people upload their own avatars and images. We just simply couldn't handle that. So we used the concept of biomorphic explorers, which is real technology actually, looking at how animals work and developing robotic creatures that can do some of these same functions. And we tried to find some Mars connections. For instance, a bat can work at night and use radar, and a meerkat can go subsurface, that kind of thing. And so the public can choose their avatar, and then there's a reputation system built in where they get points for all of the science contributions that they make. And we currently have a member out there who has earned over 500,000 points already. So it can be addictive, and it's great to see that community build, and it's a really great way for us as the government to reach citizens and really have that open dialogue with them. This is a sample of the reputation system itself with badges earned and things like that. It's really great. There are a lot of people who are motivated by points, and it's simply points in this case. And badges that you can earn as you progressively do more and more science. Ultimately, what we'd love to be able to do is, as people are really gaining knowledge about Mars, opening up the possibilities for participating even more, so that if you actually have done a lot of work and know something about Mars, then maybe in future days, no promises, but in future days, maybe we could open up some of the experiments that the rovers, for instance, or the orbiters are doing, and get the public to weigh in, the now not just interested public, but knowledgeable public, to say, yeah, hey, as a citizen group, as the people from planet Earth, let's go explore this rock maybe instead of that, and input that into the science teams, and really have that open opportunity to discovery. The Be a Martian site was actually announced by the US CIO, which was fantastic, and this happened at Microsoft's Professional Developers Conference. We had an image set that was put into the cloud, and it was a 3D image set of rover images. Basically, since then, I believe over 500,000 APIs have been written against that database. So people are really doing a lot with us. In general, we've reached out to the public, but this is a really great opportunity for us to reach out to software developers, and especially students at the college level who are taking classes and are developing their skills, and actually allowing them to have input back into the science process. So we launched the Pathfinder Innovation Challenge, and it's actually having folks work on 4 different challenge levels, and the image you see here I'll talk about in more detail is the 3rd and 4th level. Using the rover data, there are over, I think, 500,000 images that have been returned so far. And none of the images have been really tagged yet. In this case, you're seeing the rover shadow, the arm, the deck, rover tracks. If we can get global cooperation through crowdsourcing to tag them, and then also have software developers work on an artificial intelligence basis and compare the two, we may actually build that back into missions, so that their software may actually be used by the science teams. But the great thing is that we're really improving the data and certainly searchability in the future, not just for public views, but real work for scientists and engineers who may want to say things like, hey, show me all of the images that have the robotic arm in them so that they can do diagnostics and that sort of thing. So that's sort of the overview of the whole project. Are there questions?
Thanks, Michelle. Thanks very much. I'm back. I think that's a great example of what I've been trying to call innovative social engagement, really having a fun thing going on that gets citizens engaged and gets the government something useful too. I did get one question through the chat room so far. It's from Kevin Curry. Hi, Kevin. He wanted to know, how do you verify and validate crowdsourced results?
So we have people do the same image. They're brought up randomly, but basically the idea is statistically, if you have enough people say this is where it is, then it probably is where it is. And then the second check on that is at the science team level. So once all that data is returned to them, they'll actually verify that.
Right, got it. Raleigh Cole has a question. What percentage of people are from outside the U.S., do you think?
You know, I don't have that statistic today, but worldwide it was really kind of interesting. I think at one point it was 3 times U.S., so we're getting a lot of interest from everyone.
Right, and let's see, Katrin Hoper also asked the question, I guess a lot of people are concerned about this, so how do you trust the information, and how do you know if users are signing false tags intentionally or accidentally? I think you might have already answered that, but maybe you could take a stab at her specifically.
Sure. And I mean, we're definitely in a beta stage, but we have also benchmarked against other crowdsourcing activities, such as Galaxy Zoo. They have about 250,000 users. And we're very helpful to this project, actually, in helping us look at those issues. And yes, you're definitely going to get some random users basically putting things deliberately or not in wrong places. But once you have that core community going, and it seems so far to be working well, we're in the process of transferring the first data set to the science team for that verification, and then we'll make modifications back into the program if need be. We're about 3 weeks.
Super. And Jamie, our wonderful chat room moderator there, has informed me that a number of people have asked about the age groups that are participating. Maybe you could enlighten us as to that.
Sure. So it's for all ages. I don't actually have the stats on the under 13 crowd. Obviously, we had to do a lot of COPA compliance work as well there. I don't have that stat, but I can certainly get it to this group later.
Sure. Sounds great. All right. Thanks so much, Michelle. This has been a wonderful addition to the program.
It's been fun.